Hey, before we get started here, I just want to give you all a heads up that in some areas of this episode, the audio is a little bit rough. You know, things happen and all that, and we cleaned it up the best we could, but we are merely humans and barely that. But I hope you find it in your hearts to forgive us. Also, listener discretion is advised.
Juggalo Judgment.
Okay, so Eric sent me that, but he didn't give me anything, to do with it in particular, so I was like, I'm just gonna remake their intro, but I realized I don't have him saying ICUP with we in a really low voice, and I'm not good enough to do Hang on, let me try real quick, I'm gonna post-process this.
ICUP with we.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, juggalos, juggalettes, and those who don't identify as such. This is Juggalo Judgment, where two friends take time out of their busy schedules to sit down, listen to, and analyze music of the Juggalo variety. You're joined by your hosts, Mike and
Steve!
And this is a super special episode because this is a collaborative effort.
With who?
Well, it's obviously us. It's Juggalo Judgment.
Of course, yeah.
And for this one special episode, we have our very own co-hosts with the co-mosts.
Yeah.
And that is the fine gentleman of ICUP with we.
Quote unquote fine.
Aaron and
I would like to thank the Academy. I immediately started talking without you introducing. I'm Aaron. This is me. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Eric.
And we are we.
We are
in the ICUP with we.
We are here with we.
You are also the we in this equation. All of us. And listener, you're the we as well.
It's a wonderful fucking morning to have y'all here. I feel like actually I've been here with at least two of you for most of the morning already.
That's true.
And then this other fucko's here with his out of focus camera. It's in and out. But it's so great to have you here. Finally, again, this is just another thing. I feel like for the past couple of months, it's just been a series of things where it's like, I've been waiting goddamn weeks for this shit. I've been waiting, and now it's finally fucking here, and here we are again. And it's fucking awesome. But
for the first time.
Before we get into anything else, there's one thing we gotta do, and that's give some silence for you to do your intro, because they haven't done it yet. You're not going to know who's actually done their intro first. Definitely, it was us. We did it first, and now we're going to give them time to do their intro. So if you want to hear everything, all of the content that we recorded here, you're going to want to go listen to their episode as well. Otherwise, you're only hearing half the fucking content, and you're missing out on so fucking much.
Exactly. This is the Jack Jekyll cover version, and theirs is the Jake Jekyll. So go ahead and check out their episode as well, which is...
I like to think of our version as the one that's packaged with freaky tales.
Yes.
I'd like you to remove yourself.
You can have that. Yeah, you can have it. That's all you.
Yeah, no, cool. Hey, we're good with that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But before we do anything else, I feel like we're not reviewing anything. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. We don't have an album for this. This is a little bonus for y'all. We're going to crack open a motherfucking Faygo. We have never in the history of this show had guests on and told them to have a Faygo ready. We just know that they all listen and they have Faygos ready all the time. So we're going to crack open a motherfucking Faygo. Mike, what do you got?
I have in my possession a Moon Mist Blue. I've been holding on to this for the last week. And I've been dying for it because Moe's went there, grabbed like 5 things last week. They still have that expired ass Rock and Rye, making me very salty because it's like 6 months expired or more. I'm going to tell them the next time I go. But I have Moon Mist Blue. Here's what you do.
What do our esteemed guests have to drink with us today?
So I have a Faygo Topo Chico. With it's Twist of Tangerine. This is the Sprouts exclusive. So this is extra upper middle class white mom territory.
Delightful.
And it tastes like it.
Faygo Richie Bitch edition. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I've got a Faygo Queen Anne Roasters decaf coffee from Ghost Alley Espresso.
Delightful. Took a walk down to the corner store today to pick myself up a genuine Faygo delicious Red Pop.
Ooh.
Sorry about you.
For the second time in the last 5 minutes, I want you to remove yourself from this call.
Oh, oof.
I will never. Let's crack them open.
Eric, you had what is the name of the coffee that you got?
Oh, it's a Queen Anne Roasters decaf, and it's from Ghost Alley.
Yeah, have you ever listened to the song Queen Anne's Lace by Sorority Noise?
It's actually the only song I've heard ever.
Incredibly depressing.
I just listened to it over and over instead of the albums we're supposed to listen to, and then I just fake it. I take cues from you when we review stuff.
Oh, really? Because I take cues from you. Have we ever actually reviewed an album? Fuck.
Shit.
Damn.
Outed.
Oh my god. I thought Do They Know It's Christmas by Band Aid was the only song on earth.
No. Boys, crack your Fagos.
Okay.
Crack them.
Woo!
Satisfying
That was like a
twist.
spit. That was awesome.
It's fun.
We're here together, and we have not a goddamn thing prepared. We all just got together for a little square table discussion, and yeah, we're just gonna fucking talk it out. We're gonna talk out our problems because we've had a lot of problems over the past. We still have our grudge matches for a future JCW yet to be announced.
True.
Yet to be announced.
And who knows how that's going to shake out. We've cut
you
our
know
promos.
what?
We've been back and forth.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Even though it's yet to be announced, we're gonna put an advertisement for it in the next Joker's Card album, because it doesn't matter if anything from those ads actually happen,
No.
right?
True.
Mike already hates me. No.
No,
Guys,
it's
I should
this is a different face. This is the face where
Okay.
he knows what you're saying is true and it hurts.
The other thing we're going to do is
Correct.
we're going to put that ad in the next Joker's Card with a date, but not tell you the date changed until 2 days before that date.
Bam. Can't wait.
Because that's how we do.
Guys, I should
yeah.
I don't think it's been mentioned yet, but I should mention we are all on webcam today. So we are
are.
seeing each other's reactions live.
And Aaron, we don't generally do that, but the Juggalo Judgment fellas do.
We like to see each other. It's nice. We don't talk face to face. This is the only interaction we have. We hate each other
Right.
outside
Yeah.
of this show.
I don't let people see me if I can avoid it, so.
Yeah, we were at a cookout last week, and he just kept giving me shitty looks the whole time.
Yeah.
But especially when we were playing Magic, he was like, "You motherfucker, I'm not the one you need to worry about."
He almost wound up in the fire, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think it's probably obvious to anybody listening, whether they're listening to our show or your show right now, we both do somewhat similar podcasts. Thematically, it's a person who has listened to and has knowledge of ICP paired with a person who maybe wouldn't identify so much as a juggalo or hasn't listened, and we're experiencing things together. Although Aaron and I are both at a point where we're so deep in that all the stuff we're listening to is new, but there's also some other interesting parallels. I used to live in Pittsburgh. You're both in the Pittsburgh area. Mike is the straight edge juggalo, and I am also straight edge. There was a lot of bizarre things that when we had our little write-up on Fago Lovers and Mike commented saying, "Fuck these guys, listen to our show," we immediately were like, this is a friendship that's going to last forever. We need to do an episode together. So we're so stoked that finally it's happening.
And then we allowed like 3 months to go by.
Yes.
It was the equivalent of when Eminem was super getting popular and him yelling "fuck ICP, buy my CD."
Yeah.
That's really what that was.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
This all started because we actually went to a live performance of Juggalo Judgment, and we handed them flyers to come to ours, and it said Juggalo Judgment might be there. And that's how this all started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and hey, to be honest, we didn't lie. There's a possibility that Juggalo Judgment was going to show up.
Yeah, it was hey, we said they might. That's all.
Yeah, and I was like, well, did you ask me? And you were like, well, I'm asking you now. And I was
Exactly.
like, fuck y'all.
That's exactly
Right.
exactly how it happened. Just wait until you hear what we say on Howard Stern. Just wait. Anyway,
The point that we're trying to get to right now is that the ICUP with we guys are gay, and that's a bad thing, and we hate them.
Listen, I will never suck a dick. Okay? And I want everybody to know that. So I'm going to say it in every single episode for a very long time.
disclaimer. we're making jokes, folks. Because all four of us will suck a dick at the drop of a hat, and that's just how it is. We don't give a shit.
If you drop your hat, I'll suck your dick. I'm making a beeline for it. I mean, I can't tell. I can't.
So, Shmeev, you said that we have nothing prepared, which is not necessarily true, because Aaron and I collaboratively, and when I say collaboratively, I mean mostly me and Aaron laughing while I did it, have put together a series of rapid fire questions for the two of you.
Oh shit! Okay, here we go.
Let me before we start this, let me preface this by saying I finish an 8-hour stream and I look over at Discord and I have over 50 messages from our we'll call it Dark Lotus group chat, which is all four of us together, and then I have over like another 30 or 40 messages from Eric, who is sending questions to ask you guys one message at a time.
Oh shit!
And so I think I've contributed one single question to this entire thing. Everything else was from Eric, but all of them are great, and
my
I approve.
sincerest hope is that these questions are also ones that you can be asked of you, because otherwise I don't have much.
Yes. Yeah, no. So that's what I was gonna say.
Beyond maybe getting like a. So how'd this all happen? How did you get into the Juggalo music?
Yeah.
But that's whatever. We can get a background at some point, but
Here's the format. I'll ask the questions. There's sort of questions that you could answer yes or no to, or give a short answer, or if you want to return and ask questions, feel free. Aaron will probably add follow-up questions and color to this, but they can become conversations, or you can answer and we can move on.
I love to hear myself talk, so.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, ready. First question. First and foremost, what is a juggalo?
He's a graduate.
What did he graduate from?
Well,
there was cricket sounds there. I put them in post.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next question. Tell us about your show and explain what makes it so much better than ours.
Well, for one, we're on it, so that's already a couple ticks up. But Juggalo Judgment is basically just me, a juggalo of about 15, 16 years now, deciding to rope my best friend in because he listened to like a handful of ICP tracks here and there of hey, let's do something similar to this podcast that you got me into, Roach Coach, where all they do is new metal for the most part.
that's the real thing that makes us better, is that we stole the format of a better show than both of ours.
Yeah. And I was like, one night I was like, dude, we should do something like that, but like with ICP stuff. And he was like, all right, fuck it. And over the course of like 2 weeks, we like kind of came up with it. And Shmeev was all excited because he was like, oh, cool. By episode 4, I'll get to the album that I know, aka The Great Malenko. And I said, oh no, we're doing this, like, we're going thorough. So Malenko was episode 8 because of all the sideshow stuff. And we've just been going ever since, and adding like everybody else from Psychopathic. So I mean, as we're in this right now, as of recording, we're in 2006, and we're at 60 plus episodes. I can't remember the exact number right now.
Really, it's the amount of content that makes us better, is what we're, and the dread of the non-juggalo in this particular case.
Yeah, the other thing that makes your show better is that this was a calculated, decisive move. You put time into planning this and figuring it out and copying something. Ours, Aaron, tell them how our show started.
I got really high one day and I thought ICUP with me would be a funny name for a podcast about ICP, because it's like comes off of the ICUP joke, right? Spell I-cup. And then I tweeted that because when I get high and think of stupid things, that's what I do. CST gang till I die. And then Eric responded and was like, hey, let's actually do this. And I think, fuck, what did I just get myself into?
And then 2 days later, we were recording the first episode.
Oh, it was incredibly fast. There was not a lot of talking ahead of time. Very few easy decisions were made, and then it was just off to the races.
Yeah, we've figured it out as we go. I think by about the midway point through season 3, I think our show started to become our show. So
started to become good. Yeah.
And you guys started this right at the start or prior to the start of the pandemic, I believe.
Yeah, right in the early stages.
Times,
yeah.
So did you think that you were going to be like sticking with this for as long as you have? I must apologize. I've been trying to binge. I am midway through the Hallowicked 20th anniversary episode. I unfortunately did not get fully caught up, but I have been enjoying the show the whole time, and I will get caught up.
I'm caught up in the sense that I skipped ahead to the end.
That's the way.
I skipped to the episodes I wanted to hear, and then went to the end and was like, I'll just listen from here.
Yeah,
I'm up to date. This is where I get to hear about myself every once in a while.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah, Shmeev sends me the clips where you guys acknowledge us, and I'm like, oh, cool! I can't wait to finally get there.
Yeah, no, y'all have listened to us way more than we deserve to be listened to probably already. This is great. Yeah.
No, I didn't think we'd, I think we set out a goal. Hey, we're going to do this till we catch up. But it's crazy to actually be here and look back and be like, oh, fuck, that we're at the end of 2019. We are like 2 episodes from caught up to present, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost caught up to present. And that's when I thought that we would just stop. That's when I was like, okay, when we get caught up to present, I'll have my Sunday mornings back. I won't have to wake up to immediately listen to ICP and then talk about them. It'll be great. But I mean, I don't want to stop. Eric doesn't want to stop.
No.
We had people in the Discord yesterday asking, like, what are y'all's plans whenever you catch up to current? Like, what are y'all going to do next?
You had some people who are listeners of our show in the Discord.
True. Yeah.
Both of those new people that I believe you're talking about.
Exactly,
are people that we have chatted with, one of whom I think we may have given stuff away to both of them.
I figured out pretty quickly that they were longtime JJ fans. Whenever they hopped in and they're like, oh, fuck, Shmeev's in here? Oh, and Mike? Oh, and like they got caught with their pants down. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, listener Stank Biscuits, who we also played some, you played some Dead by Daylight with them.
Yeah, we played Dead by Daylight with them yesterday.
And also our good pal Dustin.
Dustin's dope. And Stank Biscuits.
They both
Stank
seem.
Biscuits has won a couple things from us.
I guess. Yeah, they both seem like super cool people.
Dustin also supplied the copy of Quest for Shangri-La that I have sitting down in my kitchen.
That's pretty sick.
I still need to get that, like, I haven't actually gone back to trying this, but one day I want to have that all the stuff scanned in and put in as assets for Tabletop Sim, and I want to play some Quest for Shangri-La at some point. But that's so fucking hard to do. It takes so much goddamn time. I'm lazy.
Word.
If you put it in Tabletop Sim, though, I would absolutely play it on stream way more than anybody would want me to want to watch me play it on stream.
Is it accurate, since your show is called Juggalo Judgment, to refer to you as the JJ Boys?
I think so, yeah.
It's literally whenever when Aaron mentioned, like, oh yeah, guys from the listen to the JJ stuff, I was like, oh my god, the JJ Boys and Joe and Joey Records. How have I never like put that together? But I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's canon now. So
it's canon.
You're living
that's
with it.
important.
It's in the lexicon.
Speaking of spelling, do you spell judgment with or without an E? And did you change your mind at some point? Because your profile pic has one, but your artist name doesn't.
Okay, so here's the thing. Came up with Juggalo Judgment. The typical proper spelling is without an E. It can be spelled with an E, but the typical like formal version is without an E.
I prefer with the E personally.
Our good friend Naomi, out of the blue, made that logo for us. Didn't ask for anything. She just made it. And we were like, holy shit, this looks so good. I love it. It's great. Thank you so much.
We did not check it.
It was not until like 10 episodes later where I noticed that there was an E in there. And I keep saying like, oh, maybe we can get it adjusted or anything. Shmeev was just like, fuck it. That's what it is at this point. And I'm curious if people try to reach out to us like on social media or with the emails and add the E in there. And so we have no clue. Like,
I mean,
people have been trying to reach us for the last year and a half or more, and it's not coming to us because
we could do the common business decision of just having both of those. Like, we could start up social media with the like Judgment with an E. We could have like another Gmail of it.
Too late. I just registered both of those.
We barely keep up with the regular ones that we have. I'm not starting a new one.
Yeah.
We really just need to like buy like the domains and stuff and just have them all redirect to this.
No, I just bought them all and they all redirect to our stuff.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah. So, next question. How did the two of you meet each other?
We went to school together.
Yeah. We've known each other since junior high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ooh.
I think we had like mutual friends, and so just by hanging out with them, we just kind of clicked up, and we had a couple classes together. And so
you know,
on, like,
I feel like you in those times, it was kind of hard for anybody to have not like noticed you at some point. You're a very noticeable person.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Which is funny because I'm short as hell, so
That's true.
everybody's just looking right over me.
He was
Is that it?
extremely short back in the day. Mike's just he's in high school and junior high and stuff. He was the hype man for like nobody at all. He was just the hype man, like the hype man for existence. He's just up there. He's like, boom.
This was the instance of people telling me I'm so loud and I need to be quiet.
Got it.
Like that was just, I was not somebody who was just sitting in the background like I do nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
after a
Mike,
certain point, we'd have, he'd be the guy who was just in the middle of the hallways rapping some John Cena lyrics and then later some ICP lyrics.
So you have always, in Shmeev's eyes, you have always been a fan of ICP. Is that correct?
For most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
I have bad memories,
my
so it's hard for me to
question
remember a
is-
time when he wasn't.
Right. So my question is that if a time machine existed and you were able to, both of you together, travel back in time to your middle school, get Lil Shmeev and Lil Mike together and say, hey, just to let you know, this is future us, and we run a podcast about ICP. What would your middle school reactions be?
Middle school me would try to beat current me up.
Would they
succeed.
first say, what's a podcast?
I think they just hear the ICP part and just
Right.
Yeah, let's see.
Absolutely.
Middle school me, I'd want to beat them up. They would want to beat me up.
Also the
and
same.
I wouldn't believe it because ICP was the furthest thing from my mind back then. I didn't get an ICP until high school, actually.
Got it.
And it's because of my fear of clowns. So
Perfect.
I wouldn't have had anything to do with that back then. Oh God.
Yeah,
12-year-old me
junior
would not
high.
have known what to do.
Junior high me would just be like, "That's not Rush. Shut up." Is that a prog band?
Now, do you ever see yourself reviewing Rush in the future? Do you ever see yourself reviewing a band that would redeem yourself in middle school you's mind?
Yeah, I think
Because
we
for
already
me, that
did.
would be like Fall of Troy, like, or Taking Back Sunday.
For the month of April. I think we did. We covered Screaming for Vengeance, and like junior high me would be like, "Yeah, Judas Priest, that's great." And the Proto Men, like junior high me had never heard of the Proto Men and would be like, "This is incredible." How it, and I mean, I don't even think the Proto Men were around whenever I was in junior high, so it'd be like double crazy.
I saw them open for the Aquabats once.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Is that so, Eric? Because I happen to have this sworn affidavit from you, given after this episode was recorded, that it was in fact the Phenomenauts that you saw and not the Proto-Men, though they have a similar aesthetic and musical style, which I will have to check out sometime. They are not in fact the same band. So, I don't know how I or the listeners can take anything that you say going forward as anything but vile fucking lies. Or, I mean, maybe you're just kind of like mistaken. That happens. Probably a liar, though. Anyway, back to the episode.
So, do the two of you prefer listening to podcasts or creating podcasts?
Ooh.
Have a lot of fun doing the show, typically, sometimes the prep going into it is a bit strenuous, which is just ironic when I do legitimately the least amount of work on this. But sometimes I can't always just listen to podcasts. Like I typically have to have them on when I'm working just as background noise. And that's why sometimes I go through like huge stages of binging a show that, you know, I wasn't caught up on. Like Roach Coach, I'm behind by like almost 3 months now, which I hate myself for because I finally got caught up last year. And I think it just depends on the month of which I prefer doing. I mean, I record 4 of these a month now with doing the solo mic checks. And I mean, I just have fun for the most part. So I guess it just kind of goes in waves. But I mean, depending on the show that I'm listening to, I might just be like, okay, I need to keep going because this is great. So it fluctuates for me.
I'm very lazy, so I really do enjoy listening to podcasts a whole lot. But it's kind of a weird thing because I also like fluctuate in and out of listening to them, but it's just kind of a thing where I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I like these people and I like this podcast, but I don't want to listen to it right now. But I tend to have something going at all times to prevent my brain from thinking about anything else because it's dangerous for that to happen. So, you know, I'll throw something. I'll be like, I'm going for a walk, throw on a podcast. I'm staring at the wall, throw on a podcast. I'm at work, throw on a podcast. Or video. Honestly, podcasts and video content are about the same thing to me at this point because I treat them both the same.
Yeah, no, I found when I was working pre-pandemic and into like halfway through the pandemic, I worked in construction. I was a superintendent. I had jobs all over the Metroplex that I would have to constantly be driving to check on. So I was always listening to podcasts. I would get through like 6 hour to hour and a half podcast episodes a day, almost, on days where I didn't have a lot to do. But then once I've just started kind of doing my stuff from home, I don't seem to listen to them as much anymore because now like my work is editing videos or streaming or whatever. So I can't listen to a podcast while I do that because I obviously have to perform or edit a performance. Who knows? But I do find myself though still like going to the grocery store real fast. I'd rather, you know, if I don't have something from ICP to listen to, you know, I'll toss on a podcast.
Or you're in Coffee Talk, which is like a podcast.
Coffee Talk is like a podcast, yeah. Really, if you think about it, I do like 7 podcasts a week.
Yeah, it's true.
Only one of them is recorded, and I don't even edit that one. I just talk.
See, I love the creation side of it. That's like my thing. I like putting together the outlines for the episodes and researching it. I like recording it and editing it. And I used to like when I would sit at a desk every day before I started working from home, like Andy got me listening to Jamie Josta's podcast. So I would sit at work and listen to that while I was doing stuff. But now I don't listen to them as much. I'll put on like maybe music if I'm working on something, but I'm generally either working or working on this stupid show. So
I will say the parts whenever I get to like the parts that don't have to do with like the podcast itself, where it's just like I'm crafting an intro or a stupid interlude or whatever, like I'm like, yeah, this is fucking it
for sure.
Like, and you know, again, I do just like talking about shit, so that is like another part of it that I like. But I'm also lazy. It's just a constant struggle where it's just like, am I too lazy to like do this thing? I don't know.
Same. Next question. How did you both become juggalos? Also, are you juggalos? And more importantly, can you tell us if we are juggalos?
Maybe I'll let you go first.
No.
No.
So I have been since, I want to say officially like 2007, I guess is when I would actually like say that I was a juggalo. Actually, a friend of mine in high school, when I was a freshman, he was a super senior of all things because he had to stick around another year. We would hang out, and the one time we were in his car, and he was playing a burned copy of Ringmaster, and Bugs on My Nuts came on, and I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And he let me have that CD, and that's the only song I listened to, just on repeat. I didn't touch anything else on that CD for a while.
Oh my god.
Another time, he had another burned mix that had the Ned game on it. And I was like, whoa, this is great. What is this? He's like, it's that same band I gave you the fucking CD for. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like another week passes, and the two of us and another friend were in the car going to Eaton Park at midnight after Cosmic Bowling, and Homies came on. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm listening to from now on. Like, I can't not listen to this. And so that was in like 2006 was when that was really starting, but 2007 was when I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm a Juggalo now. And then I had the fun experience of trying to go back and catch up on everything that I missed over the prior 15 years. So I've been like very deep in this, especially whenever the one person in that friend group was like, yeah, you'll be done with this in a couple of years. And I'm like, oh, really? It was
like a challenge.
It was like, I'm a Juggalo out of spite now. Like, it was the same for when I declared straight edge in 2006. And my mom was like, yeah, you're not going to stick with that, especially when you go to college. And I'm like, watch me. That's
so are you Juggalos though? That's
Shmeev,
quite a
you still haven't answered.
I said no.
Oh, you said no.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, he said no right out the get-go.
I thought you were saying you didn't want to answer.
First.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
that
same.
was,
Okay.
and that was why, because I knew that answer from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike knows that answer. We've talked about that. If you want the long version of this answer, so when it comes to like names of that sort, because Juggalo is kind of like a different kind of thing. It's there are plenty of like names for like fandoms and stuff where it's just sort of like, yeah, I'm kind of into this or whatever, but like Juggalo is one of those ones that almost comes with kind of like an implication to it, where it's not just like, yeah, I like listening to them every once in a while. Like that's not quite what it is, and like they even make that kind of clear whenever they reference the Juggalos, etc. And you know, it's almost along the lines of like a fish heads kind of thing. Like you're not a fish head if you just kind of listen to Fish once in a while and like them. I like Fish here and there, that's great, but I've never followed them around on tour. I've never camped out to like see them and stuff. I don't feel like there's any particular part of me that is like deeply intrinsically connected to this music. Like I can go without it. You know, I like a couple songs. The closest, the most that I have ever felt from like an ICP song is probably just, again, Homies, because it's like, yeah, I can connect a lot with the message of that and all that stuff. But this is kind of like an interesting thing. I talked whenever I was on the What is a Juggalo podcast as the first and only non-Juggalo to have been on that show. They brought up like whenever I say about how much I actually kind of just hate Violent J and Shaggy Two Dope a lot of times. He's like, well, in that way, you're kind of like that is kind of just a Juggalo thing, hating ICP. I mean, they do that a lot. So, but it's kind of a different thing. I feel like Juggalos hate ICP for like the few times that they're like, yeah, we're gonna do like a good thing, and then like that's not why I hate ICP.
Right. And another thing is, like, whenever we started doing this show, I was like, I'm not going to make Shmeev a Juggalo out of this, but my ultimate goal is to at least add a handful of songs into Shmeev's regular playlist of, like, we come to something and Shmeev's like, holy fuck, this is so good. And I feel like the only song that's been has probably been the Jump Steady song Ninjas in Action. Like, that might be the closest thing. Because that's a great posse cut. If you guys haven't heard it, I highly recommend it because it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10.
But that was the only thing. I was like, I know Shmeev's not a Juggalo. I know he's not going to become a Juggalo. But the fact is like he's my closest friend and he's willing to do this with me. So that's why I was
my homie.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I particularly like owe anything to this music in any way. So it's just kind of like a whatever. And there's another thing that was in my brain for like a second. Oh yeah. I see my place on this show as a Juggalo apologist and also a Juggalo antagonist. That's my purpose here. I'm here to be like, the Juggalos ain't that bad, and then also like poking at them because, you know, it's fun. And because sometimes I just like to say what I feel about this music, and that makes them mad because it's just how I feel.
Right.
Okay, perfect. Enough about you. Tell us about us. Tell us if we're Juggalos. Yeah.
Oh God. I don't know. I mean, like, do you feel like you have like some intrinsic connection to this music? I mean, Eric, you've identified as a Juggalo before, have you not?
You know, that's a really odd question because my first instinct was no. Because when I started listening to them, Juggalo wasn't a thing. I feel like the concept of Juggalo didn't come around until, like the very end of the 90s, early 2000s. And I started listening like 95, 96. And I was really, really into them for a long time. But it's funny, I was looking back at some pictures, and there's a picture of me and, well, she wasn't my wife yet at the time, but we were together. And she's wearing a hoodie that says Juggalette, and I've got a Hatchet Man shirt on. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. Yep. Yeah, I think so. And then, like we've talked about before, I think they started to change. Their fan base started to change. They started signing a bunch of artists that I just didn't feel like I was aligned with anymore. And I just kind of stopped paying attention. And then when we started doing this, I realized how much, not only do I love all those albums that I loved back then, but they've done a lot of stuff since then that, like, legitimately, I really, really like a lot of the music. Now, there's a lot that I don't like as well, but I don't think any artist for 30 years can continuously put out music and win every time. I will take a 60% win rate any day there, considering the volume. And there's a lot of good shit. So am I connected to what people would identify as the Juggalo community? I don't know. I don't know what that is. We've pondered that a lot. And yet, there's a lot about ICP, their DIY sort of mentality, and hey, we're going to get out there and make this happen. There's a lot about their, especially early on, their beliefs in a social sense and pseudo-political sense that I identified right away. And Aaron and I have talked about this. I grew up in the punk and hardcore scene. It was very much DIY focused. It was very much social focused. And those things were like at the core of my being. So that was one of the appeals, and still is, of ICP. If those are values of the Juggalos, then I do feel an intrinsic connection to the music and that movement. So that's why I'm begging for somebody to tell me, because I don't know.
The fact that you were so early on, you are, in my opinion, would be considered one of the quote unquote old schoolers. If I remember correctly from the older episodes, Riddlebox is one of the first things that you jumped on with, correct?
Yeah, it started because we kept seeing the CD at the store because I grew up not far from Detroit, and it just had that sticker of the Riddlebox cover. It just said Insane Clown Posse because they put the sticker over the cover. And we were like, what is this? So my friend stole the CD so we could figure out what it was. And the first thing I heard that my friend let me borrow was the Chicken Huntin' single. That's the first thing I ever heard.
So that's the thing. Riddlebox, for a lot of the people who I would say are of the first generation of Juggalos, it's typically Riddlebox or Great Milenko, which are the ones that most people have a very, very close connection to. Because it's the first thing they listen to. Depending on the area, it may have been Milenko because it was the first big nationwide release. But I know a lot of people in Detroit and in Ohio and in the Dallas-Fort Worth area love Riddlebox because that was their first exposure to it.
Yeah.
And, then there's, they started getting so many fans later on, in the late 90s after Jekyll Brothers and in Bizarre Bazaar, whenever Violent J was like, we need everybody to hear us. And I'm going to do everything possible to sell out so that people can hear our shit. And then there's me who shows up where the most recent thing that they did was The Calm. And I'm like the middle kid, because now we have the really young kids who are starting to come around because of their songs popping up on TikTok.
Yeah.
To Catch a Predator,
Hocus Pocus.
freaking Hocus Pocus,
Yeah.
have been used as trend songs for the better part of a year now. And it's, I just find that interesting, with you, because you said that you kind of fell out of it, but you're seeming to go back in. I've seen that with a handful of other people. The person who I had on mic check, Jiggles, that was the case with him. Our show actually kind of got him back into it. He kind of vaguely paid attention, but now he's yeah, I'm back in on this. So yeah, obviously you're a Juggalo. Aaron, I don't know, man.
What's up, guys? I'm still hanging.
Hey, what's your what do you got for us?
Well, okay, so as y'all, y'all probably don't know, but as listeners, longtime listeners, no time callers, because we've never taken calls. Longtime listeners, no time callers know. My experience with ICP music was this kid in elementary school that bullied me in elementary school always wore ICP merch. So I had that to associate with them, and then pop culture references up through like my entire life until I was touring with my old band. We were somewhere in the middle of like being on our way to Cincinnati. I was like kind of half paying attention in the backseat, scrolling Twitter when cuss words came on playlist that we were listening to in the van. And I kind of like sit up a little bit and I was like, what the fuck are we listening to right now, guys? And they're like, oh, this is cuss words by ICP. And I forgot, like, up until we reviewed cuss words, I forgot that was the one and only ICP song I had ever heard. But now I will be sitting here at my desk working or something, and I'll just be like, cuss words, let them roll, motherfucking shit, goddamn asshole. And it's like that song. I cannot believe that was the only song I heard prior to this podcast. But getting into this podcast now, it's been great for me because I've been able to actually learn what a juggalo is rather than what like pop culture presents a juggalo as, right? And who ICP is rather than the perception from the outside world and stuff like that. I don't think I'm a juggalo by any means, but I think I'm more in the same boat as Shmeev, where I am at the point where I am a sympathizer, but also an antagonist a little bit in some ways to juggalos. But that's better than just being like, yeah, fuck juggalos because I got bullied by one in elementary school. You know what I mean?
That is better. Yeah. I always appreciate like you brought up, Eric, like I appreciate the juggalocialism. Like that's great. That's really cool shit. And I always appreciate seeing things like the classic story that, like, it was a fucking news article or something like that where it was like this guy like he was like a disabled kid who ended up going to a gathering or whatever, and it's like they had like a literal picture under the headline of like a juggalette giving a lap dance. Just it's like feel welcome. It's like awesome. You're a fucking hero.
So Aaron and Shmeev are juggalo allies, essentially.
Yes.
Yes. Happy
I would say so. Yeah. Happy Pride Month to all the juggalos out there.
I wish there was a juggalo month.
LGBTQIAJ.
Oh, that could be a thing. Could be a thing.
It should not be a thing.
So, Mike and Shmeev, we have pondered this many times, and this is an actual honest question. We kind of joke about it, but we're actually serious as well. Is there a non-binary form of juggalo and juggalette?
I know that back whenever, I'm not sure if you guys had checked it out, but the at the gathering in, I think it was 2002, Violent J had like their seminar, and this was on, they ended up putting it on the on like the Wraith sampler and stuff like that. He did say that like he never intended for juggalo to be like a male form because they never came up with the term juggalette. It was fans who did, and he was like, I don't really care for that. Like, and he said, quote, I mean, I'd rather fuck a juggalette than a juggalo. But
of course he did.
Is that a surprising quote at this point?
No. And this is 2002, Diamond Rain. Right. I'm going to say the F-bomb so many freaking times on my album.
Yeah.
So juggalo to me, I think is just the most generic term that somebody's going to use. I've literally seen people, like women who identify as juggalos, because they say, I hate the term juggalette because it makes me, it sounds like another term for like a hoe or a skank. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand that. So if a person of however they identify as, if they just use juggalo, then that's going to be what they go by. And I don't think somebody's going to be like, no, fuck you. You can't say juggalo because you're right. You don't identify as a man or something like that.
I said as a joke at some point, I think on one of our episodes, I did use the term juggalenby, but I also understand that non-binary people do not all necessarily appreciate the term NB because for a variety of reasons. But I did throw it out there once.
I'm pretty sure on one episode I've said Jugga Thems.
And
But-
Jugga
I
They.
just came to that episode
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if Eric kept it in or not.
Yeah,
though.
it's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Jugga they. I
Yeah.
think was
Yes.
also there.
Yeah.
For me, Juggalo is probably
So
just
Juggalo.
I
most
think,
basic one
yeah,
you
I
can
think
go with.
Juggalo, and that makes total sense to me. Yeah, absolutely.
Next question. Are Juggalos a gang or a family? Also, if they're a family, who's the mom and who's the dad?
They are and are not a gang, as is necessary for ICP for either promotional or legal purposes.
Correct. That's the correct
Yes.
answer. Yes.
That's seriously about as best as it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough whenever ICP started out as gang members.
Right.
Yeah. The answer is like
And-
really they're not, but they want the accoutrement.
Yeah, it's just the problem of in so many areas where there just happen to be a lot of juggalos that do very stupid shit. Those are the ones that obviously are getting targeted as, oh, well, they're, breaking car windows and shit, and they're all wearing the same logo. Clearly, they must be a gang.
Right.
And obviously, it does give a bad rep, but it's the people themselves who are not doing themselves any favors.
Oh, so you heard
I
it
remember
here.
whenever-
Juggalo Judgment confirms ICP is a gang, not a family.
The worst part was whenever that when the FBI did that the gang classification, I think it was in 2010 or 2011, something like that. Literally that same year, I had just gotten a Juggalo tattoo, and I was like,
Oh no.
"Oh, this is great timing."
Good. Good. Yeah.
I think the really important question with regards to them being a gang or a family is can those not both be true at the same time? I mean, like
Have to be a pretty big
the
family. If
was
it's
the
a gang.
Manson family also a gang?
It's a
They weren't like a
figurative
real
family.
family.
Correct. Not an actual family. That's a metaphorical family. I suppose a gang
Yeah.
could be a
I
metaphorical
mean, the Fast
family.
and Furious guys, they were
They're a
family.
famiglia. Yeah.
They're a famiglia.
That's the most accurate we can be, I guess.
So okay, so but if
But who's the
honestly,
mom
I
and dad?
think
That's the
mom
Yeah,
and
who's the mom
dad
and dad?
Jumpsteady's the dad.
and the mom.
And honestly, yeah, I mean, he does everything. He
Yeah.
carries the whole label on his shoulders. Like that's
Okay. What are your Juggalo names? And also, what are our Juggalo names?
we'll have to get to that name generator. Get it
I
to.
forgot about the name generator.
We'll have to get it to work 4 times before it calls one of us some homophobic shit.
Oh, good.
All right. Good enough. Mike, how did you become the straight edge Juggalo? With "the" in your title, it almost sounds as if you're the only one. Does that mean that I have to break edge if I claim Juggalo, or that I can never claim Juggalo?
He's also
you
been
have to make
considered
that
the
choice.
original straight edge juggalo
Yeah.
at times.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's true. Your Twitch name is the original SEJ.
yeah,
That's
that
very
is-
true. Yeah.
That is true. So that happened because I had actually declared straight edge before I was a Juggalo. I declared straight edge in 2006, and I had never seen anybody else who was a Juggalo say that they were straight edge, because most people are like, oh yeah, I'm Twisted Serial Killer Matt or whatever. Like everybody has their Juggalo names, and I'm like, okay, that's boring. Like I'm gonna do something that is representative of me, and it's like, oh, straight edge and Juggalo. It's almost like it's a walking contradiction, because I don't know any like from what I see, like Juggalos are either like smoking weed at the least or drinking or something like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna say I'm straight edge Juggalo, and I've had so many people early on give me so much like pushback on that, saying like, oh, you have to at least smoke weed, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to. You can be mad about it. I don't care. So
That's,
then
like,
in
that's
more
dumb.
recent
Yeah.
years, I've started seeing more people say like that they're straight edge, which I think is awesome, and they're claiming Juggalo, which is awesome. And I'm like, well, I didn't see anybody else doing it back when I started, so that's why like some of my handles on places are the original straight edge Juggalo.
Fair enough.
Maybe it's
Of your
kind
era.
So
like-
you know what? You know
Yeah.
what, Eric? You lost out, pussy.
Right. You know, the funny thing though is that when we got into ICP, everybody I knew that was listening to them were kids in the hardcore scene and hardcore bands and stuff. For the most part, a lot of them were straight edge. So it wasn't a weird thing. But I mean, when I talk about growing apart, there was a point where like they started shifting and it was like about, smoking weed and stuff. And I was like, oh, this ain't me. And I have no problem with somebody doing that. If you just want to smoke weed, fuck it, smoke weed. I don't care. And I've gotten over it with ICP as well. Like, I've learned to accept that. Violent J seems a little burnt out these days, and I wish he was as sharp as he was back then. But hey, I want everybody to do what makes them happy. If you're not hurting anybody else, fuck it. But I do think that the concept of straight edge juggalo in the 90s was not a bizarre thing. So of your era, I will accept that answer. Okay, correct answer. I'm going to, Aaron, give him a point for that one, please.
Okay, point for that one. I'll go ahead and write that down.
Thank you.
And then you brought up, Mike, I'm assuming random name that you came up with, Twisted Serial Killer Matt. Or
that was just
random. Okay,
random.
I have decided that I am deeming Shmeev's Juggalo name as Twisted Serial Killer Shmeev because about 3 days a week I get an off-brand cereal ASMR as he pours cereal into a bowl in the mornings on a Discord call. So Shmeev is now Twisted Serial Killer Shmeev.
I'm here for it. All right.
Okay, which former psychopathic artist do you wish was still on the roster, and which psychopathic artist do you wish had never been on the roster in the first place?
This is a tough one because if I give any of the answers of like some artists that I like, it means that I'm pulling them away from their good pals over at Magic Ninja.
That's not entirely true.
And they're good over there.
Yeah, seriously. Anybody who left Psychopathic to go to Magic Ninja has probably done some of the best stuff that they've ever done.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
I mean, ABK, he's like
in between.
He's like never really been official. Yeah,
he's like the
still
Void
allowed
Walker.
to do whatever the hell he wants.
He is not officially on Psychopathic anymore.
Okay.
As of like last year, he announced ICP straight up said that they and Ouija Mac are the only people who are still on Psychopathic Records.
Oh.
So ABK is not, and he was literally just on Magic Ninja's newest release that came out yesterday.
You know what?
Is Hoodoo not on Psychopathic anymore?
He is affiliated, but he is apparently not officially on the label.
Interesting.
Which is crazy because the album he came out with last year was a work of goddamn art, and I don't understand why Psychopathic wouldn't have wanted to put it out on their label.
I want Breed back to life on on the label because like we listened to his album and like in general I feel like it was kind of like a middle of the road album. Everything that he's done like in guesting stuff has all been fucking gold. It's been so goddamn good. His vocals with Blaze on It Was Too Many Bitches is so good.
So you want Breed back on the label? That's the artist you would choose.
Yes.
MC Breed has to be alive and back on the label. Yes,
alive and back on site.
Hey, living and dead is not even a factor here. Who do you wish they had never signed?
I'll let you go first.
I'll let Mike answer while I think about my second part.
So first off, artists that I think never should have signed Cole 187 because his Violent J has this terrible obsession with I really love these artists that were making super awesome gangster rap whenever we were younger.
Yeah.
It would be so cool if we had them on our label. That happened with Isham, and then that happened with Cole 187. And his record, which was meant to be a trilogy, flopped. And his album was partially a catalyst of why Twisted left. So I wish that album didn't happen. There's a couple good songs on there, and the concept of the album is very cool, where they took instrumentals from prior Psychopathic releases and he just rapped over them, like Rada style. But it's ultimately very disappointing, especially because they hyped him up so much. As for the artists who I wish never left, and this is kind of very bittersweet, in a weird way, is Young Wicked. And it's only because they put so much stock in him. And he was going to be the future of Psychopathic Records. And his, if you want to call it a mistake, his choices, I think, have ultimately put Psychopathic in a very, very low place now than what they would have been had he still been around.
Yeah, I just wish Young Wicked was still producing for ICP.
I haven't gotten there yet, but did you enjoy what he did on like Missing Link?
Fuck yes.
Bound?
Fuck yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
he did
thank you.
great work.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have very strong attachment to those albums, and I know a lot of people didn't care for them, but his production is exquisite, and the stuff that he does for Magic Ninja is incredible.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you've taken time to check out any of their stuff in recent years that he has helped put together, but I think he's so talented. He can produce, he can rap his ass off, and he can actually hold a tune pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, him leaving, his decisions were the biggest divide in Juggalo history.
Yeah.
At this juncture. So that's why.
No secret on
wish,
this end that I love the Magic Ninja AMB and Young Wicked stuff. Like, I don't even care for the psychopathic stuff, but once they went to Magic Ninja, I think they have released nothing but like solid, awesome music.
I remember you pointing that out. I heard that on a recent episode, and I actually really enjoyed Blood In, Blood Out, which we just had release recently. I liked it way more than I remembered. And the Garcia Brothers, I thought, was a very solid record.
Some good stuff on there. Yeah.
The track that they did with ABK is just wow, chef's kiss, but that's because ABK works pretty well with damn near anybody.
True.
But yeah, I digress. Shmeev, go.
I wish Sin was never on the label. I wish they would have spent 5 seconds looking for another singer who could actually write a song as well as sing.
I think Aaron would probably agree, and I think I will too.
I want Zug Island to have still happened, but I don't want it to be.
Oh,
with
why?
Sin.
Well, it would have been Violent J singing, so no, that would have been.
Well, I would also
No,
take
I
that.
don't.
I'd take that as well. Go for it. But I mean, look, no, I mean, had they just found another singer who, after he left, after like Violent J stopped writing for Zug Island, he could just write a fucking song. Well, that would be great, because Sin can't write a song.
But I mean, they have that really good cover of Another Brick in the Wall. Clearly, Sin rewrote the lines incredibly well, right?
Oh no!
Right, Shmeev? You're holding.
Well, that was a lot.
Chugging water from a stein. At least I thought it was water. It would be
it?
badass if that was vodka.
From a pitcher.
If you just downed that vodka from a stein just flawlessly.
Not vodka, but it wasn't that either. It was just water.
I was about to say even worse. Actually,
I did not down my straight tequila here. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I've for the most part stayed away from other, like, listening to anything else from Psychopathic or even Magic Ninja, for the pure purposes of one day we might want to review this, and I'd like to still keep the premise of I'm going in fresh kind of thing.
Fair.
And no joke, whenever we'll receive like emails or somebody will message us about like, oh, well, yeah, well, when are you going to do this and this and this? And I'm like, shush. I want Shmeev to not know anything because I want him to go completely blind. And then I can, come in with the nuggets of knowledge and be like, oh, this happened because of this. And he'd be like, what? Which only happens occasionally now because now more people are occasionally listening and throwing stuff our way.
I mean, I don't retain most of the information. I mean, the most that I get, sometimes I will actually check a Wikipedia if I'm really curious about something. Like if I hear something in a song and I'm like, oh, that's giving me a little hint of something. What's up with that? I might look into it myself, but for the most part, I don't remember any of the stuff that people say to us as far as the weird happenings of Psychopathic, or I just...
Oh, it's
I remember
one
it
ear out the other.
Or I remember it and I'm like, I apply it to some other time and I'm like, did that happen now? And you're like, that's not for another 10 years. Stop it. And, like, okay.
and that's and also because of that, like, we don't really talk about the stuff we're listening to prior to recording. Like occasionally I'll be like, okay, this is an interesting record. Like, give me a little bit of what you're thinking whenever you do your first listen, because we try and do like 3 of them. And sometimes he just shuts me down. He's like, "No, you'll hear when we start recording."
We try to never let each other know. Yeah, we try to keep it a secret.
we try and go. Yeah, we try and keep our cards close. There's some times where we're like, "Hey, I just did my first listen. Did you? Oh, if not, good luck."
Yeah.
Just kind of like stuff like that. Every once in a while. More recently, more often than back in the day. But
I have several times been like, I don't want to do 2 more listens of this, but I'll push through it.
Hi, supervillains. Just
Okay, so I didn't actually give 3 listens to supervillains. I openly not. If you want to hear a great episode, go listen to a supervillains episode. I listened to it one time and then did my own thing.
I think I did listen to that one. I think I listened to it like the day it came out on Valentine's Day. Yeah, I think I did listen to that one. Yeah, I because I briefly remembered that. Yeah.
Spoilers, I did not review supervillains.
Oh, shit. Well, a few very important questions for you. We'll go quickly through these. For all 3 of you, Bang Bang, Pow Pow, Boom Boom, the Ringmaster, Willoughby Rags, and the Great Malenko. Who would you bang bang, pow pow, and boom boom? Bang bang obviously meaning to shoot, pow pow meaning to punch, and boom boom obviously meaning to take a shit on them.
Is that where we landed when we did bang bang, pow pow, boom boom?
I think we did. Yes.
I thought one of them was to fuck one of them. Are you sure?
Bang bang is fuck.
Bang, bang
pow
is
pow is punch. Boom boom is shit. There you go.
Yeah, boom boom is take a shit on them.
Yeah.
So
between
Ringmaster,
Willoughby Rags,
Ringmaster, Willoughby Rags, Great Malenko.
Okay, I would bang the Great Malenko because he has like those interesting. He could like during that time he could like show me the future of like or like the possible future of better sex that I could have been having than what I'm having right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, based on the Pendulum comic, we know that that's something he can do.
Yeah, well, based on just like the track. Well, it was
Halls of Illusion.
Halls of Illusion. Yeah, that's like the whole thing.
I agree with that one.
Take a shit on Willoughby Rags.
Yeah, with his
like
magical
Willoughby
bag of
Rags.
poop, he can just add to it.
That's fair.
Very true.
That's fair.
And honestly, whatever comes out of my asshole would fit right in line with his magical bag of poop. I think that's fine.
And so you're going to pow pow the Ringmaster.
Yeah. I feel like we're unanimous on that one.
So
I would bang bang Willoughby Rags.
Yeah, we're rags
I love
heads.
Willoughby Rags.
We are big rags
Rags
heads.
heads over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you are.
But I also agree with the logic behind Boom Boom Willoughby Rags. That's fair. That's fair.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Who would you rather make out with, Jake or Jack?
I don't remember who's who. Which one's
I think
throwing?
Jack is the angry face one.
Right, that's correct. Jake is of your kindness.
Jake catch one more.
Correct.
Jack. It'd be Jack.
Yeah, because he's the one who's like throwing them, and I'd like to like slow him down, have less stuff to throw at my boy Jake, because he's holding up my soul there. That's important.
Fair.
No, wait. Jack throw another Jake catch one more. Is that it?
I mean, they're juggling back and forth. They're both juggling your
Jake is
deeds.
trying to fuck up Jack and send you to hell.
I thought it was the other way around.
I think they're both trying to juggle all of your deeds, and when there are too many bad deeds,
well,
things
one
go
of them,
wrong. One's throwing good, one's throwing bad.
One's adding extras to the juggling of the other one.
Guys, keep in mind you're making out with this individual, so you got to be attracted to them in some way. Which one's hot?
Wait,
that's got to
hot
factor in.
or not.
They're both hot. They are fire.
They are literally the flame on a candle. But one's smiling and one's scowling. So do you want to, I mean, are you trying to have like a hate makeout or a happy makeout?
That's okay. No, that's the thing. The one who's trying to fuck up the other one and send my soul to hell. That's the one I make out with, so that they're less likely to throw more shit at the flames.
Genius.
There we go.
Also, they're happy. I'm not looking to fix anybody.
You heard it here first. The JJ boys are so confident in their kissing abilities that they would save the day through a mere makeout sesh, and save their soul from going to hell.
Save the day.
The JJ boys are good kissers. This is canonical.
We're gonna find out right after this. So
you said it, not me.
JJ boys,
Put a commercial in here.
you've released 80 some episodes. We've released about 55. Does this make this episode our shared 125th episode?
Yes.
Okay.
We should literally. That's
Should we-
the title of it now. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we?
I'm gonna call it episode
release this as
125.
125. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
I'm actually going to hold this episode until we get to 125 episodes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. This is gonna be the lost tapes.
Oh God.
So Shmeev, in April of this year, you took an extended vacation for the whole month. Where was your beach house located?
It's an undisclosed location. No one's allowed to know where the Schmee and Paradise Bar and Grill and Juggalo Rehabilitation Relocation Center is located.
Oh, okay. Okay. Were there only 4 albums in that beach house, or was there a huge collection that you chose from?
We had to leave a lot behind from the evacuation at the end of the month, but it's still waiting there. It's still waiting there. There's plenty more to pull out of that vault.
I see. Okay. Mike was there with you. Was he on vacation or taken hostage?
I don't consider it hostage. I consider him to have been there for, again, rehabilitation and relocation.
Week 3 was hostage mode.
So basically, you're saying he was taken, like Liam Neeson's daughter in the movie Taken?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, to whoever his Liam Neeson is, it was a hostage situation, but to the rest of us, it was just a vacation.
Who is your Liam Neeson, Mike?
Oh, who's the person who had to save me from it?
Who would be the one that would leave the threatening, I have a particular set of skills, voicemail or call, whatever? It's been a while since I watched the movie, the film.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't think that I have anybody like that.
You didn't fill out an emergency contact form when y'all started this podcast?
Liam
Because
Neeson.
Eric has my emergency contact and I have his.
Correct.
Right.
Just in case anything goes wrong in the podcast.
Yes.
No, I didn't get that far. I have not planned adulthood out that well, so
Gotcha.
See, the unfortunate thing is he was kidnapped by his Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay.
no.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Okay, gents, if we combined our shows into one super show called Judging Your Pee with Jugs of Wee, by what criteria would we judge those jugs of pee? Perfect. How angry are you that the Mayans got it wrong?
Mayans got it fucking wrong. We heard it like how many times? Like they got it fucking wrong. I'm still reeling over it. It's been 9 years. Like, god damn it, Mayans, get your shit together.
That's
You know,
the
I'm
correct answer.
glad they got it wrong.
They
Good
got it
on-
wrong.
You know what? We all have our off days. That was their one and only. They've never been wrong since.
And to the listeners of ICUP with We, if you thought we were over with that joke, we're fucking not.
Still going.
It is the greatest bit, and it is the only bit that's gonna survive till the end of the podcast.
Let me throw to you guys. What do you think of Dead Body Man?
The song?
Yeah.
I fucking love the song Dead Body Man. But not the sequels, not 2 or 3. Dead Body Man was an important
here we
song
go.
for me because
Mike's gone.
it was one of the first songs for me that when I heard it, I went, oh shit, they're not just being goofy. They're sneaking a message in here. They're like, oh, let me say all this ridiculous stuff. And then at the end, they're like, this is an animal rights message, just so you know. And I was like, oh, fuck. Fuck, yes. And I think every vegan kid back then that was listening to ICP was like, yep, you got me. I'm with you.
This is the thing about Dead Body Man, which we gave it so much criticism and got a 2-star iTunes review because of it.
Oh no.
Because I thought it was kind of mediocre.
Yeah, and they were like, they don't even get Dead Body Man, which is a classic ICP song.
It is.
Like, okay. I'm like, okay. However, I totally believe that the remix on Murder Mix Volume 1, Mikey Clark's Murder Mix Volume 1, is a work of goddamn art. And Shmeev never believes me whenever I'm like, yo, this remix of a song is very, very good. And he's like, no, the fuck it's not.
It's mashed up with Rock the Dead, right?
Yes.
And it's actually pretty good.
Oh, damn good.
It is. It's pretty good.
So when we
I do
get
like
there-
Rock the Dead. So I mean, this one has hope, but he also told me that the remix of Hocus Pocus was good.
So good.
Oh, the remix of Hocus Pocus, the Nevins mix is awesome.
There we thank you. Thank you.
Trash.
Do they perform the regular version at shows?
No.
It's the Nevins version.
That's right.
So bad.
Yeah.
They say themselves, we don't like when other people remix our shit, but this version's good.
That was the radio version. That is the definitive version of Hocus Pocus.
It also makes the video so much better. If you were to put the regular version on there and just speed it up to be at the same like speed, it wouldn't be as good in that music video. The music video is perfect with that version of the song.
For sure. Absolutely, for sure. Next question. And this one is an important one. Have you figured out the banker's offer algorithm on Deal or No Deal? Also, who is your favorite model? Name or case number is acceptable.
Let me look this up real quick.
I know nothing. It's been so long since I've seen Deal or No Deal.
No Deal. Models. There we go. Models. There we go.
Would you like Deal or No Deal more if it was a dozen Howie Mandels in dresses holding cases rather than just one Howie Mandel? I think the more Howie Mandels you have, the better. Yeah.
He has to have different wigs. Oh, Laura Shields.
I judge every game show based on how many Howie Mandels are on it.
So there's 2 good game shows out there to you, and that's it.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
And all of them are just okay because there's only one Howie Mandel on those 2. So they're just even then they're just like okay game shows.
Yeah, I like this picture of Mahogany Locks. That's very nice.
Okay.
I don't know what case she has.
Yeah,
Who's got case 17?
See, that would be the key. Because obviously you are a follower of QAnon and 17 is your call sign.
I did just listen to that episode.
We got some heat about that.
Time already.
Yeah.
That's why I told y'all that episode came out 2 days ago as of this recording.
Yeah.
It might be our most divisive episode yet already.
Oof. And not because people thought the album was good, just because because of the goofy fucking song.
Let's see.
Because of the QAnon song.
I think I know the exact song that you're talking about too. Was it Hawking?
It is.
Jiggles gave us some info. He was pissed about that song. That was one of the first emails he ever sent us.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I remember that.
Case 17 is Janelle Brown Marino, so that's your choice.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of debate about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. But do you think putting a slice of pizza in a glass of pineapple Faygo would make it better?
Depends on what the toppings of the pizza are initially.
I mean, anything. Garbage,
Faygo,
mud.
Because
are we looking to
Faygo is quite nice.
Are we looking to improve the Faygo or the pizza?
The Faygo.
Okay.
I would say the easiest way to improve that would be putting a piece of pizza that only has ham on it into the pineapple Faygo.
Aaron, that's it.
Because then you're
that's the key.
Yeah, it's a whole. But at that point, it's still Hawaiian pizza. It's just the pineapple part is liquefied and a lot more than what it would be if it was just pineapple.
I think if you were to squeeze a slice of Pizza Hut pizza and get all that cheese grease,
but just
and
the oil,
maybe
and
a little bit of and get some of that in there. Maybe that could do something. If you got pepperoni on it, some extra grease from the pepperoni that could add a little bit of a kick to the flavor. I could see it.
All right.
So that's what I have to do. The next time I get a pineapple Faygo, I'm gonna order me some pizza from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And just wring out my pizza.
Yep.
Over my glass of.
That's it.
Speaking of pizza from Pizza Hut, they had a very, very limited run Detroit style pizza that was fan-fucking-tastic. I was only able to order it twice. So it's like a pan pizza in the fact that it's like this thick, right? Again, guys, for the listeners, this means nothing to you. You're not watching our video. Only we are. So just sit there and shut the fuck up for 3 seconds. Yeah, it's about this thick. It's very crispy crust because the cheese goes all the way to the edge. Okay. And then those pepperonis that actually cup up whenever they cook. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah. They hold the grease, a little grease bowl. Yeah.
And then 2 lines of sauce. So it goes dough, cheese, pepperoni, sauce. It's a sweet sauce too.
It's a fake Chicago style.
Yeah, it's very much so fake Chicago. It's Chicago meets pan pizza.
So the thing on top is not cheese, it's sauce.
Right, yeah.
You've lost me.
Mike.
You've lost me.
Mike, this isn't
Oof.
an unfamiliar thing to you. We live in the area of people worshiping Frank's Pizza. This is not new.
It was good, guys. It was good.
We have
so
two
I think it
pizza
was
places
good.
people give a shit about. It's Frank's and Police Station Pizza, and both of them are okay.
Yeah, they're
It's like, yeah, no, all the local pizza places around here are the same way. It's like, oh, this is pizza. This is fine. Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Detroit style pizza. They took it away, and for that, Pizza Hut will always be public enemy number one in my eyes.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
I feel like I would probably actually be into that. The reason why I wouldn't usually like something like that, especially Chicago style, is like usually those are like the chunky kind of sauces and stuff. I don't like a lot. I don't like big tomato chunks in my sauces and stuff. Like I like a smooth sauce.
No, I'm the same. So this was completely smooth sauce,
Nice,
whereas
puree
yeah,
is where
Chicago's
I'm at.
more like chunky. Yeah. Yeah, I love Chicago style pizza is probably my favorite type of pizza. My wife's from Chicago, so still has family and relatives that live up there. So I've had a fair amount in my day, and I usually always pick out at least 5 chunks of tomato because I'm the same way. I don't really like chunky tomato in my sauce.
You know, I was at the airport one time flying to Chicago, and the person I was flying with said, hey, we should get pizza when we're there. And I was like, yeah, it's weird. I don't even know why they call it pizza. It's not that it's a bad food, but it's kind of a different thing. It's like a sort of pie. Not that a pizza isn't called a pie, but, and this woman randomly that I didn't know, like angrily was like, well, what they have here sure as hell isn't pizza. And she was like freaking out because it was a woman flying back to Chicago where she was from and just jumped in on our conversation to tell me to fuck off because I made fun of Chicago pizza.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
It
was just like
Chicago
that.
style pizza is less good lasagna. Like
It's kind of like
basically
lasagna.
what that is.
It's pizza lasagna.
It's pretty lasagna, right? Yeah. So Eric, when you started that story, you said the person I was flying with, for some reason, my mind immediately thought random stranger sitting next to you, inviting you to go get pizza as soon as you land. And I thought did you say, fuck no, who are you? You're weird? What did you say?
My companion, my flying companion, the person that was flying with me. We weren't even on the plane yet. We were at the airport, like just waiting for our flight. And this happened. A random woman at the airport, like, freaked out on me. So, okay, guys, I don't want to bring the conversation down, but I have a real question. I mean, all of these have been actual questions.
These have all been very real and valid questions, so I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, this is something that Aaron and I have pondered many times. ICP does not stand for racism of any type. They are very vehemently against racism and racist language and activity, and they're smart enough that they do not say the N-word in their songs, and they don't make any type of racial slurs. Why do you think that in even some of their most recent albums that we are listening to right now, they don't understand that it isn't okay to make homophobic statements and use the F slur?
I love this question. So, Mike, you're having a time over there. Do you want to talk, or do you want
just
to go
real
first?
quick? I had not listened to Basement Cuts prior to listening to your show, so whenever you pointed out that Violent J dropped the N-bomb in there, I was like, I'm sorry, fucking what?
Yes, that did happen.
Here's the thing. You're gonna have fun when you get to the EP that came out recently-ish.
Oh, God.
Oh, I know what you're talking about already.
Are you talking about Yum Yum's Lure?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I be honest? You are the third person that's told me that.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
And so
And it's sad because it's my favorite song on the record. I fucking love it. But there's a part that I'm like, But
man, I hope it's a revelation that Shaggy is actually gay.
I was gonna say, do you guys know Shaggy's not gay?
It's at the very end, Shag's like, "Hey, yo, by the way, I'm gay," and then the song ends.
You know what?
And we're like,
we recently did FTFO, and he never once said anything saying that like he wasn't gay, or all he does is bang women. Never once said that on the entirety of Fuck the Fuck Off. So
true.
No, isn't there a line in one of the songs where he's talking about something and he says, make sure there's no F-bombs around because he doesn't want them looking at him because of what he's doing. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one.
He's dropped an F-bomb or two on FTFO for sure. But even
then, I feel like the fixation on him not being gay has also been more of a recent thing. Like it's ramped up, I feel like.
Yeah, he's like really wants to make sure
You know?
he is not gay.
I'm very confused because I know that these fine gentlemen, and this counts for both like ICP and also for Twisted, have really like reeled back on a lot of the stuff that they say in recent years, mostly. But there are still instances where it's just happening. Like I think on one of the recent Patreon streams, and I didn't watch it, so I can't say for sure, but like I think that like Shaggy dropped an F-bomb on there, and both like Jumpsteady and Jay looked at him like, yo, we don't say that. When in reality, you're still saying it on your album. So, you know, I guess in casual conversation, you're not saying it, but you can still put it on, you know, physical media to throw out there. I don't get it because they were so like, they didn't really say it early on. And then in 2002, when they have a gay producer, they're like, oh, we can say this now because it's our friend.
God. Yeah, I think I talked about this extensively, maybe even on FTFO. I don't remember. I've talked about it on one of our episodes before, where I feel like what happened with them was you only kind of really understand something whenever it's something that you know personally. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of get an impression, especially back in the day. Like the internet wasn't as much of a thing. We weren't as like closely connected and all of this stuff, so you weren't able to get these experiences in what feels like a personal manner. So, you know, in that time, like what's their reference point for like gay people and stuff? And it's like, well, media. That's where we get, that's like our reference point for stuff that we're not personally familiar with. And so you kind of hear it in the way that they will throw that stuff around. A lot of times they seem to cast gay people in like this, it's in the same class as like, those richy bitches and stuff like that kind of shit. And, you know, it's the view that you have. So they were kind of cast in the same crew as the bad people that they were always rapping about to begin with. And so I guess they just didn't feel as bad in that case because, you know, they can't imagine that there's also people who are listening to their music who are gay. It's all of those ones who are the bad people already. So clearly not oppressed, not a bad thing to hate them.
Now, you see...
Except Mike P.
Well, I would accept if they said, hey, we were victims of hip-hop culture. It was a word that everybody used to, you know, sort of diss somebody who we thought was weak or lame in the scene, and it doesn't have homophobic connotations. And they said, but we've stopped saying it. Like, I would accept it, and I'd go, okay, because yes, I think there was a time, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago where that word was tossed around in a way that wasn't necessarily leveraged at somebody that you thought was gay. It was just, you know, it was a diss. It was a way to diss somebody. However, and I've referenced it many times in our episodes, there's a interview with Violent J from just last year where he says, I was a fool for saying those things. I don't believe that. And the Juggalo community is all about acceptance. Whoever you are, you're accepted here. We're against racism. We're against all this stuff. But in a lot of their, even over the past 3 or 4 years, songs, they not only use homophobic slurs, they directly make homophobic statements. They are saying things that are negative about people who are gay, and I don't get it. It hurts. It hurts to listen to.
Yeah, I was very appreciative of that interview and all that stuff, but then it's just like, now we're back to, and, you know, we're still stuck in like 06 or 05, 06, right. And I'm just like...
Yeah, and I remember, like, because I still listen to like Eminem, and he had a lot of flack on him from like 2017 or 2018 whenever Kamikaze came out, because he dropped an F-bomb in the song Fall that was edited, and people went at him, and he, like, because it was a diss to Tyler the Creator, and he did the same thing of like, you know, it wasn't necessarily like meaning derogatory that he's gay. It was being thrown just because it's a word we use as a diss.
It's like saying you're a bitch.
Exactly. And the thing is for me being such a big fan of this music, it's really a big, like, I have to separate like art from artist because they're being shitty people by still putting this stuff in the songs. It's very rough for me whenever it's like, you know, these are songs that I would rap along to, you know, 10 plus years ago. And I'm like, maybe it's a song that I haven't listened to in a while, and I'm there and I'm rapping along to it, and it really is like the word's not cool now. It wasn't cool then, but now you have to be conscious of just don't say it. And
Right.
that also goes for the people who are making this music. Like you can't say like, oh yeah, well I was dumb then whenever I was making this, you know, because it was talking about like, you know, his daughter asked him, you know, why did you say this stuff? You can't apologize for it then, but continue to write it in your music.
Exactly.
And like you have the time. You're writing. You can just erase it. You cannot. You can write something else.
Twisted, you know, a lot of their early stuff prior to Green Book, they were, you know, dropping the N word in there.
Yeah.
If you listen to them at shows now, they change that word. Like they will change it to a different to a different term. But Blaze does that too, which is great. But the only time when ICP will change the word is in Little Something Something when he says, you know, she couldn't be a day over 15 and now it's 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's the line that he's
which is
ashamed of.
At least that. But I mean, even we're listening to Forgotten Freshness Volume 6, and there's a few things on there that I'm like, hey, if you're going to re-release these songs, just edit those parts out and just go, hey, we don't want that. Yeah. They did it on that one Vanilla Ice song where he said, bleep, lame, lyric, edit. Just fine, just do that and acknowledge that you're not cool with it.
Which is interesting because it wasn't even their line.
Right, it was somebody else's line.
It wasn't the thing that they said, it was somebody else's.
Right.
And I get why they removed it. I don't listen to that version. I actually have the Vanilla Ice album, and I listened to that version of the song because they're saying it wasn't ICP saying it. It was a member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Right.
I get it. But I think that they spent so long being censored by the bigger labels like Island and whatnot that they were like, we're not editing ourselves anymore. But then they're being very contradictory of themselves in the things that they're saying.
Very
that still
true.
irks me to this day.
All right. Do you think we'll ever have a Juggalo president?
Oh my god. What if we already have?
Well, that's a good question, and I thought about that.
We don't really know yet. We're gonna have to screen, I think.
I can run in 2028.
Okay.
So
you have my vote.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Absolutely. 100%.
Guys, everybody write in Straight Edge Juggalo in 2028. Let's start now, guys. We need to start now.
Let's get Mike Spawn to SEJ in the Oval Office.
Yes.
So real quick, as an aside from that,
presidential seal replaced with a hatchet man.
we're all familiar with our prior commander in chief's lovely catchphrase of MAGA. Are you familiar? And this is mostly directed towards Eric. Are you familiar with the rap artist The Joker?
Yes.
So with 2 R's.
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of the project that he has been hyping since last year? It should be coming out soon.
I've heard 1 or 2 songs. There's videos on YouTube.
So the Make Juggalos Great Again?
Yeah. Mijka?
Yeah, MJGA.
Sure, why not?
This is a guy who has dissed Juggalos in the past so much, dissed a lot of people in the past so much, but is now making a full project dedicated to the Juggalo world. And I am 100% for it. Like, I used to think that this guy was a joke, and then I decided to actually listen to his shit, and I think he's very, very talented.
It's pretty good.
But I think that using the term, just repurposing MAGA for Make Juggalos Great Again, were Juggalos ever great in the first place?
Yes. No.
Okay.
No?
Was there a time when Juggalos were great? If so, when? And can they be made great again? If not,
I feel like that.
Honestly, guys, I think this release is going to be huge.
No, stop. Aaron, I have a question for you now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which do you think we would score lower? A Violent J Michael Jackson cover album or a Violent J Pearl Jam cover album?
Oh my God. Okay, we would definitely score, I think, a Pearl Jam cover album lower. It's probably because I'd be a little bit more harsh.
Okay, Mike,
that.
You seem to have a thought as well.
I was just curious. So you are aware of the couple songs that Jay has done
Yes.
of both of those artists.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I didn't know if you had. I had
Wait, hold on. We listened to the Michael Jackson one yesterday. Shout out. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it was Stanky Biscuits that posted it in the Discord. And that's how, and I sent it to Eric. I was like, you gotta fucking like.
He covered a Pearl Jam song as well. Well, sort of. This Is Not For You. Like, kind of covered it. Like, remade it, reimagined it.
Yeah, the Jay's Rock Project song. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think we'd be way harsher on the Pearl Jam cover.
You're actually wrong. They would both get 1.5 Fagos. Both.
Oh, okay, cool.
See, I'd be reviewing them exclusively on how well Mike P covers solos in them. Actually, who would be covering the solos in that? Like, because I'd want to hear whoever the fuck is doing the Beat It solo and also the various Pearl Jam ones. I like Pearl Jam's guitar work.
It would
I think Mike P would slay that.
It would just be Straight Jacket and Violent J in a room together for 3 weeks recording these songs.
It wouldn't be. Straight Jacket's gone.
Honestly, let's get
is Straight Jacket out of the picture?
Thing, huh?
Oh, we're not there yet. We're not to the point where Straight Jacket's out of the picture.
Sorry.
What?
Yeah,
let's get Santa in on this Pearl Jam cover, right, Shmeev? Let's do it.
It's a Violent J solo album, but it's just Sin singing all the songs.
But it's Sin singing every song. Yeah.
I'm all for that. I want that now.
Well, shit.
No, I do want to hear an off-pitch Violent J, even flow.
Here's the thing.
I feel like he could get that. Just that'll work. Him trying to do more Michael Jackson at his current age, nah, that's not working for him.
Violent J singing sometimes can, when it's in the proper range and mixed properly, it can actually be awesome. But when he just like lets loose and he's like, fuck it, it's karaoke night, I just can't handle it.
I want to hear Violent J doing all of Eddie Vedder's like ad libs and stuff.
All the
that's what I want.
And that stuff.
Yeah.
You guys, freezing. Rest his head on a Nedden made of concrete.
Oh my God.
Violent J, make it happen.
I want to hear. No,
I
I want the ICP cover of the Pearl Jam cover of Last Kiss. Just give me that.
There it is.
That might actually happen. But the one I most want to hear is Black. I want to hear Violent J cover Black and just see how that turns out.
Yeah.
It could be something. All right, guys, my little sister has had numerous brain surgeries. This is a true story. And because of this, she spent a lot of time in the hospital connected to an intracranial pressure monitor, which the doctors and nurses call an ICP monitor. Does that make her a juggalo?
I mean, I feel like she does kind of owe a lot to ICP in that fashion.
It's actually true.
One could say that ICP single-handedly saved her life.
Yeah, I'm very thankful
Yeah.
to them for creating that monitor. So we'll count her a juggalo, just being thankful.
Now, okay, question about the acronym ICP. Objectively, Inner City Posse or Insane Clown Posse? Which name do you like best?
Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, probably that.
Because if they didn't do that, they would have stopped making music in the mid '90s, hands down.
Yeah, probably without the
that's
carnival
probably
coming
true.
to them.
Yeah,
that's
but
probably it.
Inner City Posse got the dog beats.
ICP. We got the dog beat.
Right.
Personally, I'm glad that they didn't stop making music in the 90s, but I think Inner City Posse is a fucking sick ass name.
It rolls off the
pretty
tongue
good.
better, actually.
It does, yeah. I think it does.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
can rapid fire that one better than Insane Clown.
Yeah, in the flows, it kind of fits in. Aaron, did you have any other questions? Because I've got one more, but I'm going to let you interject if you've got any.
Yeah, so I saw that you missed a couple very, very important ones
Yes,
here.
feel free.
That we have written down. What is your go-to breakfast if you had to pick between nuts or bags? Nuts obviously meaning donuts, and bags obviously meaning bagels.
Obviously.
Right.
Oh, it's nuts easily.
Mike eats nuts. Okay.
Probably go with the bags thing. Can't have that much sugar in the morning.
Nice.
And Shmeev is slurping down them bags.
Munching
Okay,
bags, eating some nuts.
Perfect.
That's a good one. That one was important. I did skip over a few. So if there was anything that you were like, that's important.
One more that we actually don't have written down. We're going to do another bang, bang, pow, pow, boom, boom. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So bang, bang, pow, pow, boom, boom. Rice University, Jasmine Rice, Condoleezza Rice.
Okay. Bang, bang, Condoleezza Rice. All day long. All day.
I go to bed. The second my eyes close, I'm bang, bang, and Condoleezza Rice.
I guess pow pow the university, Rice University, and take a shit on Jasmine Rice. It's delicious. It'd probably still be good even if you shit on it.
Hey, Jasmine Rice is pretty good.
I feel like I just gotta copy the homework there. That's probably the best bet for me.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, maybe not shitting on the Jasmine Rice. I'd probably punch the Jasmine Rice. You need to tenderize your rice. It's very important. Many people don't know that. They talk about rincing rice. That's also
rinsing
important.
it is
you got to rinse the starch out of it and all that stuff, but you also need to tenderize your rice before.
I pictured you punching the cooked rice. It just
mashing it into the bowl as it's cooked.
So the final question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so one last question here. In like 1999, one time I was at Best Buy with my friend, and it was actually the one near South Hills Village Mall, and I'm pretty sure we were there to buy the first Mindless Self-Indulgence CD. But while we were there, we saw this girl wearing a fuck off shirt, right? And so my friend points at her shirt and goes, "Hey, I have that CD." And she looks at her shirt, which clearly has the album cover on it. And she looks at him and goes, "What CD? What a stupid fucking dumb poser bitch," right?
And that's the question.
Now, I have a question for you. I'm going to fire back with, did that happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is as real as it could possibly be.
Eric, you know what would have been funny? Is if your friend looked at that shirt and said, "You like Shaggy 2 Dope? Name 5 times he said he's not gay."
Well, this went way off the rails, exactly how I expected.
Swimmingly. It went swimmingly.
Yes.
It was,
it was about as perfect as I thought it wouldn't be. And that's okay.
Can I be honest? Eric does a very good job of editing out whenever we get off the rails too hard. And I do a very good job of just yanking us off the rails.
That's true.
But I think I sat back. I did not get us too far off the rails this episode. And for that, I'm proud of myself.
You know, we hit all the important parts. We had Condoleezza Rice in there, very important. Can't miss that. Like, and that's it. That's the most important thing that we have to make sure we hit.
Yeah.
I just want to stress that I feel I'm disappointed in myself that I was not aware of you guys any sooner, because I would have loved to have been a person to be like, "Hey, if you need any more of this music to review, I own like 80% of it. By all means, I'll send it your way." And also be a person who constantly yells at you saying, "You guys are wrong factually and your opinions are wrong." I wish I could have done that a lot sooner than when we finally did. But I legitimately have one question for you guys, and that's, in the course of you guys doing this, and I think mostly this is going to be directed towards Aaron. Have you guys come across an album that maybe you didn't really care for during the course of you guys doing your show, but you kind of decided to just give it one more shot after you've covered it? Like, this is similar in the vein of me saying, like, "Oh man, if I can get Shmeev to add a song to his normal playlist,
Right.
I love that."
So,
but is there anything that you were like, I don't really care for this, and then you're like, maybe I'll give it another shot, maybe did you decide that, I was wrong about how I felt about the Amazing Jekyll Brothers. It's actually one of their best albums ever.
I knew this was it. I knew that was where it was going.
So we were, we have had brief discussions of the possibility of opening it up to people to tell us what are like 2 opinions that we've had that you've disagreed with the most, and we'll go back and review.
Yeah,
kind
just
of thing.
revisit stuff.
And I've done a pretty good job of, if somebody reaches out to us on Twitter, which has happened multiple times. Twitter and email, which has happened multiple times, saying why we were wrong in thinking something or what their perspective was. And usually when somebody reaches out, I will go back and listen to it through the lens of how they listen to it, just to see, was I wrong? But unless that happens, I have not really revisited anything other than our Spotify playlist I'll put on every once in a while. But that's the compiled list of our favorite stuff from each album anyways. So I'm obviously gonna like it, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say I do. I mean, I don't just listen for the show, but I listen recreationally, especially in that first deck era. There was plenty that we touched on that I actually would get on a kick and listen to it for a couple weeks because I remember.
I will say I have gone back and listened to Dog Beats and Basement Cuts multiple times.
Oh, well, there you go. But there's definitely, not that I can think of specifically, maybe not whole albums, but certain songs that on first listen I didn't think much of. And then when I sat down and listened and paid attention, I went, oh, no, I like this. I like it for what it is. And, you know, it's kind of grows on me after a few listens. But we obviously need to go back and listen to that Jekyll Brothers episode. We must have been so fucking harsh. The thing is about Jekyll Brothers, I love Jekyll Brothers. I remember buying it day one at the store and being so fucking stoked. We actually had an early ripped copy of it that had like different lyrics and stuff, which was really weird to hear that when it came out, like it didn't have the Michael Jackson squeezed up on some little kid's balls edited out and stuff. It was like an early like pre-release version that we were listening to before it even came out. Yeah. The issue with Jekyll Brothers for me is that I already had knowledge when we did that episode of what was coming, what the post-deck era looked like, what this shift in their sound was going to be like. And the stuff previous to Jekyll Brothers, I think, for me, is stronger. I think it's tough to top both the EPs and LPs that came immediately preceding that. And then the stuff that comes after Jekyll Brothers, except some of the stuff on the Wraith, which is pretty good, it's, you know, kind of shaky for me. So it's a turning point album. And I think I was probably a lot harder on it because I could hear the shifting in the sound there and I knew what was coming. But it's a classic album. And I do like Jekyll Brothers. I know those songs like front to back.
I just noticed that like from that point on, you are very anti-guitar in ICP.
Yes.
Yes. Which for me, I'm like, I genuinely really like that sound. I think that they did a pretty decent job of melding like rap and guitar, like not on like a level of, you know, the nu metal style of like Limp Bizkit or whatever. Like it definitely is a little bit more manufactured, but that felt unique to me. And I just noticed that like they started kind of doing that in Malenko, you know, with obviously the songs that had Slash and the guy from the Sex Pistols. But obviously it's ramped up so much on Jekyll Brothers. And from then on, there's a lot more guitars. You hear it on Jekyll Brothers. You hear it on Psychopaths from Outer Space. And the Wraith especially. Let's have some Southern guitar on some shit.
Yeah.
And so I just noticed that whenever you get to those, you're like, I hate this guitar on this song. It would have been so much better if there was no guitar. So that was why I was just curious if maybe like you had softened on those opinions, or you're like, nope, doubling down, fuck them, they're terrible.
No. I think that a lot of those, I honestly, I think after listening to what we've been listening to recently, I think that I could go back to, especially go back to Jekyll Brothers and beforehand, and that shit is going to sound way better to me now after having the knowledge of what the second deck era sounds like, right? But you're right. I am very harsh, sometimes maybe harsher than I need to be, on guitars in their tracks when it came to the later stuff, the shift in sound change. But honestly, I think it's all based on personal preference. Either give me rap or give me something that's full-fledged nu metal like Limp Bizkit. The in-between is just like, I don't think they found a way to mesh it together quite right. They're almost there, but in my opinion, you hear guitars just slam in on the chorus, and it's just like, okay, that was jarring.
It feels
Kinda
it feels a
thing.
little
You know what I mean?
contrived in a lot of those records because it felt like,
Yeah.
hey, people liked Chicken Huntin' and people liked Halls of Illusion. They want more guitars, and that's what's popular right now is all these rap rock groups. So we've got to do rap metal. Just slap guitars in. But to me, ICP is a rap group, and I am all for people bringing in influences and different sounds into their music because that's how you grow and evolve. That's important to be able to do. But all that stuff did not age well. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I used to listen to the Bizarre albums all the time. When I listen now, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? But it's a lot of it just didn't age well. And also, to Aaron's point, I don't think they were ever a rap metal group. I think they got lumped in with rap metal and nu metal because of the era they came out and because they had a few more popular songs that had guitars. But guitar samples in a rap song, cool. Cheesy Southern rock guitars all over a rap song, I'll pass. That's not my personal preference. But maybe for some people, it's awesome.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That is one thing to say for ICP is that they were definitely willing to just like, and they are definitely willing to just kind of take something and fucking go with it. Like they don't. We brought it up on it was probably on Blood In Blood Out or something like that, where there was a line in it where I was like, Shaggy has this line, and the first time I heard it, I was like, that's incredibly dumb. It sounds like something that I would write, and then I would look back at it and say, no, that's dumb, but he fucking ran with it, and it works so well. And they do that with so much of their music.
I also want to point out, it wasn't just ICP that did this whole experimentation with throwing guitars in their music, because around the same time as the second Deck era started is when Lil Wayne started putting guitar in music and playing guitar terribly live.
Indeed.
And the difference there is that when Lil Wayne's audience was like, no, boo, fuck you, stop, he stopped. Right?
But ICP fans loved
you're
it.
telling me that you're telling me that you don't appreciate the modern classic known as Prom Queen.
Hey, I'm telling you definitively,
You are
Prom
just
Queen is
throwing.
not great.
You are throwing Rebirth under the bus.
So Rebirth is legitimately where he lost me, I think.
From then on, you were no longer a Wayne head.
From then on, that was around the time I was no longer a Wayne head. Right, yeah.
The important distinction is that ICP was like, we're going to hire a guy who's good at guitar.
Exactly, yeah. No, that is 100%. I give them that. They didn't say, oh, I'll pick up this instrument and play it. They said, hey, let's hire, play it with
Mike P
heavy
can
quotes.
Unquestionably play guitar very well.
Yes. I mean, Mikey Clark used to as well, so.
Mikey Clark also, yeah.
I think he still does. The dude's still making music.
Yeah, that's true. Just I meant for them, because he's not really
They
making music for
definitely,
them.
ICP definitely handle it better than Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne handled it better in the fact that he immediately quit pretty quickly after starting.
He was like, oh, this shit didn't work? Oh, well, I sold a few million records.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
He spent all
Right.
that time learning how to play guitar from Kid Rock, and then decided, okay, I guess I don't need to do this anymore.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Good.
Hey,
Good
you know
times.
what? Me and Lil Wayne, we're kind of on the same level guitar playing skill wise, so it's fine.
Same.
I still have yet to listen to any of your music. I need to fix that at some point.
Wow.
Don't rush. You're fine.
I've listened to like 3 or 4 tracks of a Hollowed Out album. Pretty cool. I just never got around to listening to the rest of it. I was never much of a hardcore kid that much, but there was a band that one of my friends in school was in growing up back in high school that I was like, wow, I'm not into this style of music at all, but now I'm like listening to them live and I'm like, I'm actually kind of into what they're doing regardless. This is fun. This is fucking cool as shit. And they don't like exist anymore. They stopped existing like after high school, more or less.
And they were called.
I still have they were called Calm the Storm, and I still have I still have like the
That was Nick's
six,
group, right?
Yeah, that was Nick's group. I still have the
Oh, yeah.
6-track CD with a skip on the one song that I really liked by them.
Damn.
Oh my god!
And
I forgot about Calm the Storm.
that skip was on the master track, the master cut of it, like the original versions that they still had, my friend still has,
shit.
has a skip on that song. I was so mad.
I was really worried that you were about to Nardwar me and you were going to say like a band that I was in, and I was going to be like, no!
Oh my god. Yeah, no, but honestly though, Shmeev, like even when I was in a hardcore band, I almost never listened to hardcore music other than like outside of when my friends Eric released an EP or an album, you know, I would jam the shit out of it because I knew the people in the band. I've played with them before. But even when I was in a heavy band, I never listened to heavy music.
I definitely
or like never listened to hardcore music.
Time.
I had a massive phase, don't get me wrong, and I would have moods where I would go back and listen to stuff in that phase. But by the time Ballista, the band I used to be in, was happening, that's when I was like kind of not recreationally listening to heavy music outside of a band called Mammoth Grinder, which is the best band in the world.
Nice.
That's one of the coolest fucking names
In
I've
the
ever
world?
For sure.
Mammoth Grinder from Austin, Texas. They have guys, listeners of both podcasts. Do yourself a favor, listen to Underworlds by Mammoth Grinder, the album.
Yeah, that's like an interesting thing in just playing music in general, is that I found that there are some styles where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't really listen to this, but whenever I'm playing it, this is fucking fun as hell. Like it's not something I put on, but playing it, I'm like, yeah, I can. This is the part of it that I understand. Okay, I get why you're doing this now. Like stoner metal and stuff and fucking doom and all that shit. I'm like, I don't get listening to this, but playing it is so much fun.
It's like,
I don't know
baseball.
why.
I don't want to watch baseball, but if you go out with friends and play it, that's totally different.
Yeah.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the second I would show up to a show that I was playing when I was in that heavy band, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm fucking stoked. Like I'm ready. Like even listening to Hollowed Out live was always fucking fun. Or watching Hollow Out play live, watching like you know, all of the good bands that we were playing with a lot back then. Watching them live was a lot of fun. Playing live, I mean, I always got super hyped. It was always a great time. But then like the second I get in my car after loading up my gear to go home, I'm like, okay, Taking Back Sunday all the way home. Let's do
dude,
this.
there's no secret about that. When we would be on tour anytime, or even just playing a show out of town, when you get in the van, before you can listen to heavy stuff and crazy stuff before. After, it's like hip hop, girl pop. It's something chill to just
Hell yeah.
bring it back down.
Oh, dude, we would make it a habit to, in the van after an out of town show, put on, or right after the show on our way home when everybody was still awake, we would put on Juice WRLD album and listen to it. And then once people started falling asleep, it was just me driving home and Jonathan in the passenger seat. We're like, okay, everybody's asleep. Then we'd put on Drab Majesty, listen to Drab Majesty, which by the way, I think Shmeev, you would fuck heavily with Drab Majesty. You should check them out. Then we would listen to like Imarosa's self-titled album, just the two of us, and just sing the entire album the whole way home.
Basement's a good one for that too, and that's the first time I ever heard Basement. Was like, I'm like in the van, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? I need to know what this is. Shmeev, if you've never listened to Basement, listen to Color Me in Kindness, because oh my god, it's excellent.
Live music is a kind of magic in a way, where it's just like, I know, for example, Mike, I know he doesn't care much for their studio album stuff, but like live, whenever we've been to shows and stuff and Chronic Zombies comes on, he is so fucking hyped to see them every fucking time.
Don't you fucking dare. Do not put that up. No.
Oh no.
Fuck the goddamn Chronic Zombies. Fuck their shitty ass set that they've done the same thing for the last 12 plus years. I will not ever say that I like anything by them. You fuck.
Oh.
Damn.
Put that on your list, Aaron. Chronic Zombies.
God damn it.
Oh, I'm writing it down.
Attila was great. I've never listened to them outside of I saw them live, and then I was like, I'm waiting in line to see
you
ICP.
Saw, quote unquote, you saw them live.
We're standing in line for VIP because ICP did their VIP in the middle of another band's set, and we were still waiting in line even after Attila was done. But during that, I was like, I need to go out there. I'll be right back. Call me if the line starts moving. I ran, jumped into a pit for 5 seconds. It was a very aggressive pit, more so than I've ever been in like a pit before, but it was still fun. And then I was like, okay, I'm in, I'm out. This is great, cool. They're fucking loud and that's fun. And then I went back.
in our music
me, like,
scene,
jumping up, like, get over here, we're going up now.
I would say in the circles we move in, Attila's a pretty polarizing group.
Very much so, yeah.
And when I say polarizing, I mean the vast majority of people
they wear polarized sunglasses on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say groups like Emir and Attila are ones that people might listen to quietly behind the scenes, but probably wouldn't admit out loud to their friends.
Yeah, absolutely not admit it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like a 5-finger death punch thing.
Oof.
Shame on those guilty pleasure bands. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I give Attila a lot of credit. They fucking made it work, and Amir too. I actually like a lot of Amir stuff, but yeah,
I don't know. Damn.
Not 5-finger
the thing.
death punch though. No, definitely not.
No. I can't. I don't. I'm not in scenes enough to know where it's like, no, not that, not that, would not, no.
Yep.
It's
like that.
I saw a video on TikTok yesterday of 5-finger death punch doing an acoustic set in a Best Buy, and I have never been more uncomfortable watching something in my entire life.
Wait.
I'm gonna try and look it up. I want to try and look it up.
The band that's like acoustic? I don't.
Is
does
that
not compute?
That doesn't sound like 5-finger death punch to me, because 5-finger death punch is more like, fuck you, I love America, if you don't love Trump, get the fuck out. Like, that's like them.
Which is sad, because man, their cover of Mama Said Knock You Out is really fucking good.
I just recently found out that ICP has been, like, over the past year or two doing acoustic sets, and I watched part of one of them online, and I was like, what is this?
So no joke, that's what they did at Hallowicked last year.
Hallowicked?
During the Patreon stream. This is the only of the live show streams that I've done. Because mind you, those live streams that they've done every other month, I have subscribed to all of them. I have ultimately watched about 6 of the actual streams.
Oh, I watched them for free on YouTube.
How many?
The main reason
did a Hallowicked sing so soft, I am singing in my loft.
the main reason is because like they're also giving physical shit for them. That's why I was like, oh, there's a CD that's only available if you do this. Well, great, I'm gonna do that.
Right.
But they did Hallowicked acoustically, and like a third of the way into the set, of which ICP were dressed as the Road Warriors. Like Violent J is like, okay, we need to pause because I can't hear shit. Like I can't hear the music because there's some kind of delay or whatever. It was honestly overall, once they got it sorted out, really fucking cool. Like I don't know if I would go to an acoustic ICP show, but they were supposed to make a CD of acoustic versions of their songs, and I would have bought that.
We actually just talked about that. Yeah.
Hallowicked looking bad.
I don't know. It was cool to watch that show. It was probably magical for the people who were at Violent J's house, witnessing that. But don't do a full tour of it.
Do a full tour.
And just put out that CD that you were going to put out like 3 or 4 years ago.
Who was when you say acoustic, like who was playing?
So it was Razor Ray, who was of Motown Rage. He was there, and I believe Lil Pig was there
from Zug Island.
Right.
I believe it was
Lil Pig.
I believe it was Lil Pig. And there's at least 1 or 2 other people. One of them was literally like brand new, like they had only just started working with them. Oh. So I mean, it was cool. Like, and the people there that were playing were good. They were professional.
Yeah.
So, but I might have to go back and rewatch that one because it was kind of cool, especially when they got the stuff like figured out. Like hearing an acoustic version, it was really sad though because they have music stands right in front of them. Not the musicians, ICP, because Shaggy 2 Dope does not remember any of his fucking lyrics. Because they were doing like all of the song, and most of the time it's just if they're like doing a tour, it'll just be Violent J doing his verse, they do a chorus, and then they go over to the next one. So Shaggy Two Dope's like, I haven't looked at the lyrics of these in the last 20 years. So here's me literally reading the lyrics while I'm doing it.
Also, live, they're not exactly rapping along to instrumental tracks. It's got vocals on there with them, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I heard in some recent ones it's been pretty bad. Like, I think that the show that was at the end of April, Violent J forgot a lot of his lyrics, and some people were like, wow, it's really bad whenever he doesn't even remember the lyrics for the Ned game.
I watched that Prom Night Massacre because I mean, they probably wouldn't like this, but there are people that upload all those Patreon streams to YouTube, so I've been able to catch a lot of them. But I feel like when I first started seeing them, they were playing to instrumental tracks that then eventually there would be parts of vocals, like at the beginning of a verse or something, just to cue them up. And now when I watch it, it's full on rapping along to their tracks. It's wild.
There's straight up times where it's like you're watching, like if you'll watch an older performance, because they have a couple like concert DVDs, but they'll straight up like won't even be rapping because they're just cracking Fagos to throw at the crowd and shit. Which I get it, like that's fine. But when you're missing lyrics for a lot of the stuff, it's very like, okay, well, why are we watching this show? Like, why did I pay money for this? You know, I heard people were having a lot of issues when towards the end of their lifespan, Dark Lotus, Violent J, and it was mainly Violent J, like apparently could not remember any of the fucking lyrics.
Speaking of, I mean, since you brought it up, cracking Fagos, Eric, many times I am certain you've danced in the Fago rain.
I have, yes,
at a live show.
Many times.
Have you been a part of creating that Fago rain at a live show?
Like get up on stage?
Yeah.
You know, we were, again, coming from hardcore shows and stuff, we would go and we were all about, you know, crawling up on top of the crowd and, you know, hardcore dancing and stuff, which was kind of a weird thing at the show. But I want to say maybe I kind of feel like, because especially like when it got to the Bizarre era, they'd be like, everybody up on stage. And I'm fairly certain I did at some point, but I can't remember. I mean, I saw them probably 6 or 7 times back in that era. So I don't know. It's crazy though, because, you know, we're talking about all this stuff. They have 30 years of music, and they're not like Tool. They don't put out an album every 5 or 6 years. They're putting out multiple releases every single year. I don't know if I'd be able to remember everything either, so I can't hate on them too much. But yeah, I don't know. This, I will say, we probably should wrap this up. It's been a good long episode. But gents, most importantly, if you'd like to go check out Juggalo Judgment, please tell everybody where to find you.
You can find us all on our various social medias, such as our Facebook,
Juggalo Judgment,
or Twitter,
Juggalo Judgment.
We even have a fucking Instagram for you motherfuckers.
It's Juggalo Judgment.
If you're feeling like, hey, I like all of those social media platforms, but I need to yell at you in long form, we also have email.
JuggaloJudgment@gmail.com.
If you're like, hey, that one guy, I don't like that one specifically, and I don't want the other one getting caught in the crossfire here, you could hit like me up at Shmeev on Twitter.
And if you want to talk to the person who has obviously the best opinions on the show, you can reach me at Mike Spawn, the SEJ on Twitter, or Straight at Juggalo on Instagram.
But now if you're like listening to the Juggalo Judgment version of this, and you're like, who the fuck are these ICUP with we guys? We need to reach out to them and really, really knock some sense into them about their opinions on insert thing here. You can do that wherever. Where can they do that?
You can find us on Twitter, ICUP WWE, or if you're more of an email type ninja, you can hit us up at ICUPWWE@gmail.com. Now, if you want to just talk to me, and I can't imagine why you would, you can find me on Twitter at NuclearIsLonely, or you can check out my website, ericconway.com. But Aaron, what if they want to just maybe only talk to you?
Guys, if for some reason you listen to us and you think, Eric, not my cup of tea. Aaron, my cup of tea. You can find me and all of my content www.aaronlocklear.com. That's also where you can find a link to my original artwork that I sell on Etsy and my merch store. You can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/gristlemedia, 3 to 4 days a week, playing some great games, having some laughs, maybe playing Dead by Daylight with Shmeev on a stream sometime. Who knows? Bum, bum, bum.
I do enjoy playing
maybe
that.
all 4 of us playing Dead by Daylight together.
Oh my god.
Bum, bum, bum. Guys, hit us up. Let us know how terrible we are at this and how much better the Juggalo Judgment, the JJ boys are.
You stop that.
And then most importantly, if you're wondering, okay, I have an email, electronically able to send mail to people.
Right.
I have a Twitter. I am able to tweet, but I don't know which one to use. Default to email. Make the mailer Damon happy.
Pleasure the mailer, Damon.
Every email sent pleasures the mail is one stroke on the mailer Damon's
G-spot.
dick made of ones and zeros in the internet.
I would think that the mailer Damon probably has both, so you're gonna pleasure all the pieces.
Very true. Yeah.
Help the mailer Damon come. That's what we
That's
want
what
to
it
get
is.
through to all of you right now.
Hit us up with an
That's really
email.
what we're reaching for.
Yeah. Pleasure the mailer
I know
Damon.
we literally got an email yesterday saying just helping the mailer Damon come.
That's for me.
Was it from you?
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit! That's amazing.
Oh, that is so good. Oh no, I had no clue. Oh,
man.
that's so funny. That's so funny. That's good,
Oh,
guys.
Jesus Christ.
That was the reveal that you waited 2.5 hours for. That right there was
We
the
are
reveal.
not sorry if we tricked you.
Nah, we don't care what
That was
happens
the
now.
unveil.
We're not.
Yeah.
We're not sorry.
With all
Guys.
that, I feel like there's just one thing left to do, right, everybody?
I think there's one thing left.
I think we finished our motherfucking Fagos!
Finish! Chug it, Mike! Yes!
Woo!
It's like the first time I've chugged the finish to Fago on an episode in fucking forever. It's hot as hell right now.
And whoop
Hey,
whoop.
guys, tune in next week for something. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
In between her butt cheeks, she packed a gat. I know this bitch named Rebecca Lou. She could make you nut in a second or two. She had a wicked surprise you don't expect her to. If you hit the shit raw, she just infected you. There's another freak, her name was Pearl. Bitch loved nuts like a hungry squirrel. I was tapped out, but she tagged her girl. Nutty